Welcome back YouTube to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel right now, I'm AspieAnswersAll, or Aspie for short, as I'm known by some people that has been visiting my channel. I welcome you with open arms, and hopefully that whatever reason you came to my channel, hopefully that you don't feel like that you're going to be judged, misunderstood and like, because as I said before, many times before, I'm here to hopefully make this channel as user friendly as possible, and hoping that many people can respect each other's or each other's differences, regardless, as I'm trying to reach out not just in the autistic community but further and beyond, hopefully with some of the topics that I'm sharing that's close to my heart right now. And all for the do, guys, basically, also just to heads up, basically at this point of time, even though I've had a few bits and pieces that I've been researching based on one of my playlistings, which is basically of the Asperger's syndrome and autism help central playlist. Some of that will come to light a bit more, as well as hopefully a bit more on ADHD and dyslexia, especially dyslexia, because many people have been asking for more topics on dyslexia and whatnot. So I just humbly apologise in advance that it's taking a while for some of these topics that's coming into rotation as of hopefully in the next few days. So be on the lookout for that if you're looking for those type resources or what have you. Just feel free that some of these videos that I have been sharing right now, regardless what they may be, hopefully you can kindly share them with your family, friends, co-workers, whoever, just to hopefully support them if you can't be able to, do the ways of just reaching out to them in a way of talking to them and whatnot. But in some of the videos, as I've said, on the mental health and awareness especially, if you see anything that looks, really scary, or just feel that you're out of touch with them, and you feel that some of the signs that I share, especially in those mental health illness ones that I did in the past, basically shows rotation or like seek professional help, or help them to seek professional help, even though I know for some of the stuff that I've shared also is based on my life experiences versus basically just some of my training that I did in Youthline, and hopefully some of that will be of use to and value to you as a learning aid tool or what have you, and hopefully that we can connect in one way or another, getting to know each other behind the screen and off the screen, hopefully, if I do get the chance to meet any of you in the near future. So don't further ado, guys, before I was talking about the how to respect your partner, just as a key reminder, because that's where that many people tend to think that when it comes to relationships, as I said in one of the videos, that they tend to act like they're single when they're in a relationship, and they tend to forget that it's not all about us anymore, it's about we. Like, we remove the I and put the we in front. It's all about working as a team and respecting each other's boundaries, being able to know what the other person wants and whatnot, and how we go about approaching these everyday discussions that we may go through in life. So without further ado, guys, basically, also this is going to be the second part of the how to respect your partner, but this one's like what not to do when respecting your partner, because just as a key reminder, because as I said before, some of these things need to be brought back into rotation, because as I've said, many of the relationships fail for a lot of given damn reasons, and we tend to question to why that's happening and whatnot. But then again, maybe there was a hidden reason behind it all, but we can't always blame the other half. We need to tend to question it through it all, and if we're willing to actually want to go through with this relationship further, we need to at least discuss where we're at with the partner, and hopefully maybe to, if it was time to let go, just to do that. But no further ado, guys, this is knowing what not to do and respecting your partner's relationship. So let's go. Okay, knowing what not to do is my next part of how to respect your partner. Number one, I get this all the time when I used to be dating and in relationships. Do not demean your partner in public. One way to really majorly disrespect your partner is to be mean or criticise them in public. Criticise them in a way of to make them so small, especially in front of your friends and family. This will really show you your true character if you did this, however, of disrespecting them in a way of demeaning them or giving them the hard time about it. For example, about maybe you're demeaning them about their size or weight, you may be demeaning them in a way of how they talk or how they think or what they say. I've heard this so many times before, but I try to just push on and do what I can. I know I'm different, I know I'm hard sometimes for some people, hard to understand and all that, but I'm sure that there will come to time that there will be a few others that will actually understand me for me, because I'm trying to learn to understand others and reach their needs and goals. Okay, as I said before, you need to look at each other as a team, not a I factor. Okay, if you had any issues with them, do raise them up in privacy of your own home, not in front of other people, because then, as I said before, some of this stuff needs to be behind closed doors to discuss everything. Saying mean things to them in front of others or snapping at them in public will make them feel terrible and resent you. It will make your friends and family uncomfortable, and then that might turn for the worse, that, you know, they'll make you think that you're just a mean person over again if they came out of an abusive relationship. Here's an example. Or another one is that it will make their friends think, why did that friend of theirs go out with you in the first place, and being in that relationship, what did they see in you, or what your partner saw in you that, you know, the friends, family members didn't see in you as a person, if that makes sense, in the way of your character, your traits and your behaviour and all that. But anyway, enough of that. But if you can snap at your partner in public, make sure you do apologise. Not everyone can keep their cool all the time, however, let's be online, you know. Some can act cool, come collected, and just, you know, pretend very well that nothing's going on when we know the thing. Okay, instead of calling your partner names and or demeaning them in public, try casually praising them, make them feel better in front of others. It's important. Okay, number 2, don't say terrible things about your partner to a friend. Okay, I'll admit, a long time ago when I've been struggling with some of my relationships, I've been sharing my problems with my friends or family or whoever that comes in my path, because I felt that I wasn't being listened to. I felt really hurt to the point that I was almost at breaking point, thinking, you know, it was a time to cut ties with that person, which in some parts I was grateful that I did. But, you know, along the same lines, you shouldn't say friends and family all of your dirty secrets or complain about the 50 and most annoying things your partner does. And as what someone said to me, girls are bad for that. They like creating dramas, they like to, you know, gossip, they like to whatever, but we're both 50-50 splits in the wrong. I guarantee that you males, to put this here as a run, do the same. You go out drinking with your mates on a Saturday night, say, oh, my missus doesn't do this for me, I just, you know, blah blah blah, or whatever it may be that you may be thinking or saying to your mates. But come on, we're both, you know, at fault here as well. We are both to blame as much as ourselves here. I'll put my hands up right now. I'm one of them, despite that I do struggle to this point. Though you can come to your loved ones for advice when you're really struggling. If you get in the habit of bad-mouthing your partner to others all the time, however, then it will make both of them in your relationship look bad. If you're demeaning them when they are not around, it shows that you don't respect them very much. Think about how you would feel if your partner was always saying terrible things about you to their friends. That would feel like major disrespect towards you, wouldn't it? Okay, number 3. Don't talk about members of the opposite sex in a disrespectful manner. I get this all the time, even if guys say they're playing, you know, with us girls, you know, but our size, weight and stuff, they need to basically think before they do. And this goes maybe for us females too, but majority of the time I see it's mostly the males at fault. Maybe I could be wrong, but then again, you know, many people can argue this fact with me. But this is just what I've seen and heard and been through in my time when I've been in a relationship. But anyway, another way to show your partner major disrespect is to talk about members of the opposite sex in a disrespectful manner. Okay, so we're all human. We're not perfect, right? You know, we make mistakes, and we can't stop appreciating other beautiful people around us when we're madly in love. You know, that said, when done, if you go around and talking about all the hot girls or cute guys you see, then yeah, this is bound to make your partner feel bad, and as a major sign of disrespect towards them. This is especially disrespectful if you do it in front of your partner and your friends. It shows that you don't really take your relationship really seriously. Of course, some people are much more sensitive about this kind of thing than others, but you should still avoid it as another given rule. Another one is when your partner isn't around, you shouldn't talk about all the hot guys or girls in your orbit in front of your friends either, you know. Okay, so you don't have to completely ignore the fact that there are other attractive people on the planet, but if you keep talking about it, then your friends will think you don't really respect your partner. Number 4, don't wait until your feelings reach a boiling point. If you really respect your partner, then you shouldn't let your feelings fester until all you can do is start yelling at them. If something is really bothering you, then you should give your partner the basic respect of wanting to sit down and have a serious conversation about it. Don't just wait for your partner to guess what's bothering you or bring it up when you're out in public, or just when you can't take it anymore, because you know when it's reached boiling point, that's it. Sparks begins to fly and everything else. Again, this will show it's not respectful towards you or partner or your relationship. And even so, you know, when it comes down to that point in time, also, if you, like I said in one of the videos, communication, put it, we all ain't mind readers. We don't know what you want, we don't know what you're thinking, we don't know how you're feeling and all that. Sometimes, like I said in one of my videos, especially for us autistics, I'm entitled to call us that label, that, you know, some of us can't read feelings and emotions, some of us may not be able to read body language, you know, so that's why some of us are still probably learning it. And even if we do get to the point that we're really bugging you, please let us know, you know. Okay, what I see here is if you don't really talk about the things though, however, that are really bothering you, then you're likely to be passive aggressive towards your partner, which is not always respectful. Even if you're having a really busy week, you should make time to talk about something if it's really bothering you. If your partner were angry with you, you would want to know too though, wouldn't you? So it's all about giving and taking here. 5. Don't take your partner for granted. This is the last one of what not to do in the way of disrespecting, knowing what not to do in the way of respecting. Don't take your partner for granted. Remember the sweet things they do for you and how much you appreciate them. This helps your attitude and shows that your relationship has had a positive impact on your life. Work on making loving choices, and showing them how much you care for them every single day. You may not even realise that you've been taking your partner for granted though, however, until you sit back and realise that you can't even remember the last time you said a kind word to them, or the 3 words, I love you. Make sure that your partner knows exactly how much you care for them, no matter how busy you are in the week, you know, like a simple gesture maybe, of showing that you do love them and you've been thinking of them. It's like, even if you didn't know that they had a bad day, maybe, you know, phone up a flower shop and, you know, get the delivering them to hopefully deliver them to their workplace and whatnot. You know, everybody deserves to be treated the right way and all that, as we know. But in all further ado, guys, that ends off the second part of maybe the how not to of the, you know, respecting your partner. So in all further ado, give me the comments below if I missed any. You know, feel free to comment below about how I'm going or what have you. Private message me on Facebook, AspieAnswersAll, or even direct message me on YouTube. Feel free to also basically, you know, follow me on Twitter and Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. Feel free to also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Feel free to share these videos along to family and friends. You know, if you feel that it's in your heart to do so. So on further ado, guys, thanks for the support, thanks for watching. Do what you love what you do. Till next time, I'll see you again.